Ever wondered if that old penny in your drawer could be worth a fortune? Today we're diving into the top 5 most valuable Lincoln wheat pennies that could turn your pocket change into big bucks. Stick around, you might be holding a treasure. 1940 Lincoln wheat penny. History and design. The Lincoln wheat penny, designed by Victor David Brenner, was first minted in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The 1940 edition, like others, features the classic design Lincoln's profile on the obverse and 2 wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent on the reverse. By 1940, the United States was emerging from the Great Depression and on the brink of World War II. The production of these pennies was part of an era that marked significant change and challenges in American history. These coins are a snapshot of the time, serving as both currency and historical artifact. In 1940, the Lincoln wheat penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, marked with a D; and San Francisco, marked with an S. Each mint produced millions of these coins, but there are subtle differences in quality and rarity depending on where they were struck. Philadelphia mint, over 586 million pennies were produced here, making it the most common of the 3. Denver mint produced about 81 million pennies, slightly scarcer than Philadelphia. San Francisco mint, with around 112 million coins minted. These pennies are often more sought after by collectors due to their relative rarity. So how much is a 1940 Lincoln wheat penny worth today? The value of these coins varies significantly based on their condition and mint mark. Circulated condition: a typical 1940 penny from the Philadelphia mint in circulated condition is worth around $0.15 to $0.50. Uncirculated condition: if you've got one in uncirculated or mint condition, it could fetch between $3 to $10 or more, especially if it's a high-grade specimen. Key varieties: the S mint mark pennies can be more valuable, with uncirculated coins going for up to $20 in the right market. But that's not all. If you come across any errors or unique variations, the value could skyrocket. Error coins, such as double dies or off-center strikes, are highly sought after by collectors and can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Why is the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny so valued by collectors? Besides its age and historical significance, this penny represents a pivotal time in U.S. history. It's a connection to the past, a symbol of endurance through difficult times, and a piece of art in its own right. Moreover, the simplicity and elegance of Brenner's design have made the Lincoln wheat penny a favorite among numismatists. Its availability in various grades makes it accessible for beginners while still offering a challenge to those seeking the finest examples. 1948 Lincoln wheat penny. The Lincoln wheat penny was first minted in 1909, commemorating the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's likeness and was designed by Victor David Brenner. The coin's reverse featured 2 wheat stalks symbolizing America's agricultural history, thus the name wheat penny. The 1948 edition is part of a long-running series that spanned from 1909 to 1958. By 1948, the country was emerging from the aftermath of World War II, and coins like this one were part of everyday life for millions of Americans. The 1948 wheat penny was struck at 3 U.S. mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, marked D; and San Francisco, marked S. Let's talk specifics. The 1948 Lincoln wheat penny is composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. Here's a quick look at the mintage numbers for each mint location. Philadelphia, no mint mark, over 317 million coins minted. Denver, D mint mark, over 172 million coins minted. San Francisco, S mint mark, over 81 million coins minted. The large mintage numbers mean that the 1948 penny isn't rare in terms of sheer quantity, but its value can vary widely depending on its condition and mint mark. Now let's get to what you're probably most curious about: how much is the 1948 Lincoln wheat penny worth today? The value of your coin depends heavily on its condition or grade, as well as the mint mark. In circulated condition, which means the coin has visible wear, the 1948 penny typically ranges from 3 to 10 cents. In uncirculated condition, prices start around $1 to $5 for common examples. Higher grade uncirculated coins like MS-65 or MS-66 can fetch up to $20 to $50 or more, especially if they have the S mint mark. Red pennies, those that still retain their original copper color, can be particularly valuable, with pristine examples exceeding $100 or more. The S mint mark coins from San Francisco are often more sought after than their Philadelphia and Denver counterparts due to their lower mintage. However, even among these, condition is key. A coin with sharp details, minimal wear, and strong luster will always command a premium. Be sure to keep an eye out for error coins, which can be quite valuable. Some known errors for the 1948 penny include off-center strikes, double dies, and repunched mint marks. Depending on the severity and rarity of the error, these coins can be worth significantly more, sometimes hundreds of dollars. So there you have it, a complete breakdown of the 1948 Lincoln wheat penny. Whether you're a collector or just stumbled across one of these in your pocket change, this little piece of history holds more than just face value. Don't forget to check the condition and mint mark to see if you're holding on to something special. 1936 Lincoln Wheat Penny. The Lincoln Wheat Penny, designed by Victor David Brenner, was first minted in 1909 and remained in circulation until 1958. The 1936 edition comes from the heart of the Great Depression era. For context, Franklin D. Roosevelt was president and the nation was recovering from economic hardship. This coin not only served as currency but also as a symbol of resilience for millions of Americans during tough times. The year 1936 is particularly interesting because it was a time when coin collecting was gaining popularity, leading to increased interest in coins like the Lincoln Wheat Penny. Let's break down the design of this iconic coin. On the obverse front side, you'll find the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln. The words "In God We Trust" appear above his head, with liberty on the left and the year 1936 on the right. The reverse side features two wheat stalks on either side, hence the name Wheat Penny. Between them are the words 1 cent in United States of America. Below this, you'll also find the motto E Pluribus Unum. Now here's where things get interesting. There are several variations of the 1936 penny, including the Philadelphia No Mint Mark, Denver D Mint Mark, and San Francisco S Mint Mark version. But the real treasures are the three different types of double die obverse DDO varieties, which we'll touch on in a bit. For coin collectors, what really gets people excited are the rare varieties and error coins. The 1936 Lincoln Wheat Penny has one of the most famous errors, the double die obverse DDO. This error happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly, resulting in a doubling effect on the date. The word liberty or "In God We Trust" collectors go wild for these kinds of errors because they're rare and can increase a coin's value significantly. The 1936 DDO penny has three recognized varieties, each with different levels of doubling. These coins are much scarcer than regular pennies, making them highly sought after in the numismatic community. So how many of these pennies were made? The mintages are as follows. Philadelphia Mint No Mint Mark, approximately 309 million. Denver Mint D Mint Mark, approximately 40 million. San Francisco Mint S Mint Mark, approximately 29 million. While these numbers may seem high, keep in mind that many of these coins were lost, damaged, or melted down over the years, reducing the number of well-preserved examples available today. Now for the big question, what's the 1936 Lincoln Wheat Penny worth today? For a regular circulated penny, the value can range from 3 to 10 cents. However, if your coin is in better condition or uncirculated, it could fetch $1 to $5. But if you're lucky enough to have one of those double die obverse DDO pennies, you're in for a treat. Depending on the condition, these error coins can be worth anywhere from $50 to over $1,000. Graded specimens in higher grades can command premium prices. For example, a 1936 DDO penny graded MS65 by PCGS or NGC can reach prices upwards of $3,000 or more. If you're looking to add a 1936 Lincoln Wheat Penny to your collection, here are a few tips. Check for the DDO error. This is where the real value lies. Inspect the coin's condition. The better the grade, the higher the value. Look for mint marks. The Denver and San Francisco versions are usually worth more. Consider professional grading. If you believe you have a valuable coin, get it authenticated and graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. The 1936 Lincoln Wheat Penny is more than just a piece of old change. It's a snapshot of American history. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, this coin offers something for everyone. Who knows? That old penny sitting in your drawer could be worth more than you ever imagined. 1918 Lincoln Wheat Penny. The 1918 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted during an important time in American history. World War I was coming to an end, and the nation was beginning to transition into the post-war era. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this penny had already been in circulation for almost a decade, but the 1918 edition carried the weight of a country in recovery. Interestingly, the early 1900s saw a large push for artistic and patriotic coin designs, and the Lincoln Wheat Penny was at the forefront of this movement. The coin features the image of President Abraham Lincoln to honor his legacy, making it the first regular issue U.S. coin to feature a president. Let's break down the design of this classic coin. On the obverse front, you'll see the iconic portrait of President Lincoln facing right. The phrase "In God We Trust" is inscribed above his head with liberty on the left and the year 1918 on the right. The reverse side is where the wheat part comes in. Two wheat stalks surround the words 1 cent in United States of America with the Latin motto E Pluribus Unum placed underneath. There are three mint varieties for the 1918 Lincoln Wheat: Philadelphia No Mint Mark, Denver D Mint Mark, San Francisco S Mint Mark. Each of these mint varieties has its own unique value range, and the condition of the coin also plays a significant role in determining its worth. So how common is the 1918 Lincoln Wheat Penny? Let's look at the mintage numbers. Philadelphia Mint No Mint Mark, 288 million. Denver Mint D Mint Mark, 47 million. San Francisco Mint S Mint Mark, 34 million. While these numbers seem high, finding these coins in well-preserved condition, especially the Denver and San Francisco versions, can be a challenge. Circulated coins are common, but high-grade examples are where the real value lies. Now, on to the big question, what's the 1918 Lincoln Wheat penny worth today? For a circulated 1918 penny in average condition. Philadelphia no mint mark around 15 to 50 cents. Denver D mint mark around 50 cents to $1.50. San Francisco S mint mark around $1 to $3. However, if your coin is in uncirculated condition with a high grade, the value can rise significantly. Philadelphia no mint mark up to $20 to $50. Denver D mint mark up to $75 or more. San Francisco S mint mark up to $100 or more. There are also some rare varieties and errors that can boost the value even further. Look out for repunched mint marks, RPMs, or die cracks that can increase a coin's desirability among collectors. Thinking of adding a 1918 Lincoln Wheat penny to your collection? Here are a few tips. Inspect the condition. Even minor wear can drastically affect the coin's value. Check for rare mint marks. The D and S mint marks are generally more valuable, especially in higher grades. Look for errors. Variations like RPMs or die cracks can make your coin stand out. Consider professional grading. If you believe you have a high-grade specimen, getting it certified by a service like PCGS or NGC can maximize its value. The 1918 Lincoln Wheat penny is a fascinating piece of history, capturing the spirit of a changing America. Whether you're holding on to one for its history or its potential value, it's always worth taking a closer look. You never know what treasure might be hiding in your collection. 1937 Lincoln Wheat penny. The Lincoln Wheat penny, first introduced in 1909, is one of America's most iconic coins. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln. The reverse showcases the classic wheat ears, symbolizing America's agricultural roots. Now let's talk about the 1937 edition. This coin was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia no mint mark, Denver D mint mark, and San Francisco S mint mark. This was during a time when the United States was slowly recovering from the Great Depression, and every penny mattered. Over 309 million of these coins were struck that year, with the Philadelphia mint producing the largest quantity. Despite the high mintage, certain factors can make your 1937 penny stand out, especially in terms of value. Varieties and errors. When it comes to coin collecting, small details can mean big differences in value. The 1937 Lincoln Wheat penny has a few varieties and errors worth mentioning. Double die variety. Keep an eye out for the 1937 double die error, especially on the obverse. If the date or the letters in Liberty or In God We Trust appear doubled, you might be holding onto a valuable coin. Off-center strikes are another error that can boost your penny's value. The more off-center, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. Die cracks and cuds. Die cracks or cuds are also collectible. These errors appear as raised lines or blobs on the coin due to a broken die during minting. Grading and value. The value of a 1937 Lincoln Wheat penny largely depends on its condition and any special characteristics. Let's break it down. Good G4 to very fine VF20. In circulated condition, a typical 1937 penny is usually worth around $0.05 to $0.20. Not much, but still a small piece of history. Extremely fine EF40 to about uncirculated a U50. In better condition, you're looking at a value of $0.50 to $2. Mint state MS60, MS65. A coin in uncirculated condition can fetch anywhere from $5 to $20 or more, especially if it has a strong strike and good eye appeal. Mint state MS66 and above. At this grade, the coin can be worth over $50, with top quality examples reaching into the hundreds, particularly for the Denver and San Francisco mint marks. Error coins, or those with significant doubling, can reach much higher values, sometimes in the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Here are a few tips if you're hunting for a 1937 Lincoln Wheat penny. Check for mint marks. Always check for the D Denver or S San Francisco mint marks. Coins from these mints tend to be more valuable than those from Philadelphia. Examine the condition. Higher grade coins are much more desirable. Look for pennies with minimal wear, strong details, and good luster. Be on the lookout for errors. As we mentioned earlier, errors like doubling or off-center strikes can significantly increase a penny's value. So there you have it, the full rundown on the 1937 Lincoln Wheat penny. It may be a common coin, but with a little knowledge, you might just find one that's worth a lot more than 1 cent. Whether you're collecting for fun, history, or investment, the 1937 penny is definitely a 39 Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, this coin features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his home, Monticello, on the reverse. The design was chosen through a national competition, making it a symbol of democracy and artistic expression. Now let's zoom in on the 1939 issue. This was the second year of production for the Jefferson nickel and is significant for a couple of reasons. For one, it was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia no mint mark, Denver D, and San Francisco S. But what really makes this year interesting are the varieties and errors, which we'll dive into shortly. Let's break down the mintages first. Philadelphia no mint mark, around 120 million coins were minted. Denver D, around 3.5 million coins were produced. San Francisco S, approximately 6.6 million coins were minted. Among these, the Denver mint is the most challenging to find in high grades due to lower production quality and limited mintage, making it particularly desirable for collectors. When it comes to the 1939 Jefferson nickel, there are some varieties and errors that can fetch a higher price. 1939 double Monticello, the most famous variety, is the double die reverse, specifically where Monticello and 5 cents show noticeable doubling. These are highly sought after by collectors. In higher grades, this variety can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. 1939 proof nickel, the proof versions, which were struck for collectors, have a sharper strike and a mirror-like finish. They can be quite valuable, especially in higher grades with no blemishes. Full steps designation. If you've ever heard of full steps, it's a term used for Jefferson nickels that show all 6 steps on Monticello's front staircase. A 1939 Jefferson nickel with full steps is rare and commands a premium, especially if it's from the Denver or San Francisco mint. Now, let's talk about what you really want to know: how much these coins are worth today. The value of a 1939 Jefferson nickel can vary greatly based on its condition, mint mark, and any special varieties. Circulated coins. A common 1939 nickel in circulated condition is typically worth between 10 cents and $1. Uncirculated coins. If your 1939 nickel is in mint condition, prices range from $5 to $30 depending on the mint mark. Varieties and errors. The 1939 double Monticello nickel in high grades can easily exceed $500, with some even reaching $1,000 or more. Full steps coins. A 1939 nickel with the full steps designation can be worth between $50 to several $100s, especially if it's a rarer mint mark. Always have your coin graded and authenticated by a professional service if you think you have a valuable piece. Grading can significantly increase its resale value. The 1939 Jefferson nickel is a small but significant piece of American history. Whether you're collecting for fun or looking for a profitable find, these nickels offer plenty of potential. From mint mark rarities to valuable errors and varieties, this is definitely a coin to keep your eye on. 1991 Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It was designed by Felix Schlag, a German-American sculptor who won a national competition to design the new 5-cent piece. His design, which features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse front and Monticello, Jefferson's home, on the reverse back, has remained largely unchanged for decades. This nickel was part of the long-running series, featuring the same classic design. However, what makes the 1991 Jefferson nickel interesting to collectors are factors like its mint locations, overall mintage numbers, and condition. The 1991 Jefferson nickel was struck in 3 primary locations: Philadelphia no mint mark, Denver D mint mark, and San Francisco S mint mark. Here's a quick breakdown of the mintage numbers. 1991 P Philadelphia, approximately 726 million coins produced. 1991 D Denver, approximately 639 million coins produced. 1991 S San Francisco proof, around 2.8 million proof coins struck. As you can see, this coin isn't exactly rare in terms of how many were made. However, condition and type can greatly affect its value, especially when looking at proof coins. Now let's get to the part you've been waiting for: how much is a 1991 Jefferson nickel worth? For most circulated examples, the value is typically around face value, which is 5 cents. However, uncirculated or higher grade coins, especially those graded by services like PCGS or NGC, can be worth more. For uncirculated coins in higher grades like MS65 or better, the value can range from $1 to $5. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, especially those with deep cameo finishes, can be worth around $5 to $10 depending on condition. While this might not seem like a huge amount, certain high-grade examples or error coins could fetch even higher prices. Speaking of error coins, collectors always keep an eye out for unique varieties and minting errors. Some 1991 Jefferson nickels may show misaligned dies, off-center strikes, or other anomalies. If you happen to find one of these error coins, the value could skyrocket depending on the rarity and demand. 1960 Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple in U.S. currency since it was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his iconic Monticello estate on the reverse. Fast forward to 1960, and the United States was experiencing a post-war economic boom. This year, over 55 million Jefferson nickels were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, while another 55 million were produced at the Denver Mint. But what makes this specific year's nickel worth talking about? The 1960 Jefferson nickel has some interesting characteristics. First, let's break down the basic specifications. Composition: 75% copper and 25% nickel. weight 5.0 grams, diameter 21.2 mm. Mint marks coins minted in Philadelphia have no mint mark, while those from Denver have a D mint mark on the reverse to the right of Monticello. Now, here's where things get more exciting. Like many older coins, the 1960 Jefferson nickel has variations and errors that can affect its value. Valuable varieties errors. If you're a coin collector, you know that varieties and errors can mean big money. For the 1960 Jefferson nickel, there are a few key ones to look out for. 1960 DDRPM repunched mint mark. One of the most popular varieties is the repunched mint mark error. It occurs when the D was stamped twice, resulting in a noticeable shadow or doubling effect. Depending on the condition, this variety can be worth much more than a regular nickel. Full steps collectors pay a premium for coins with fully visible steps on Monticello. If your coin shows 5 or 6 distinct steps on the reverse, it can fetch a higher value, especially in higher grades like MS65 or above. Proof coins. While regular circulation coins were struck in large quantities, the Philadelphia Mint also produced a limited number of proof coins in 1960. These coins are struck with extra care and have a shiny mirror-like finish, making them highly collectible. The value of a 1960 Jefferson nickel largely depends on its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 poor to 70 perfect. Here's a quick breakdown. Circulated condition G4 to XF4 to DX40. These are your typical pocket change nickels. They usually range from $0.05 to $0.20 in value. Uncirculated MS60 to MS65 coins in mint condition with little to no wear can be worth around $1 to $5. High-grade examples MS666 and above these can be valued anywhere between $10 to $50 depending on their quality and whether they have the full steps designation. Rare varieties proofs coins with RPM errors or proof versions in pristine condition can go for much higher, even up to $100 or more at auctions. 1969 Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple in American currency since it was first minted in 1938. Designed by artist Felix Schlag, the coin features a profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse or front side and a depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's home, on the reverse side. By 1969, this design had been in circulation for over 3 decades, remaining largely unchanged. However, it's worth noting that in 1969, the U.S. Mint was producing coins at 3 facilities: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, marked by a D; and San Francisco, marked by an S. The coins from the San Francisco Mint were primarily proofs intended for collectors, while the Philadelphia and Denver Mints produced coins for general circulation. When it comes to the 1969 Jefferson nickel, there are 3 key varieties based on the mint location. The most common is the 1969 D, produced in Denver. The 1969S proof nickels are sought after by collectors due to their limited mintage and high-quality finish. The Philadelphia minted 1969 nickels with no mint mark are also found in circulation but are generally more common than the others. As with any coin, the condition or grade of the 1969 Jefferson nickel is crucial when determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers indicating a better preserved coin. For circulated 1969 nickels, grades typically range from VG very good to XF extremely fine. Uncirculated coins can fall anywhere from MS60 to MS65 and above. Proof coins like those from San Francisco are usually graded as PR proof and come with a deep mirror-like finish. Key details that impact grading include sharpness of the strike, luster, and the presence of any scratches, nicks, or discoloration. Now, let's talk value. How much is your 1969 Jefferson nickel worth today? For circulated coins, most 1969 nickels are worth around 5 to 25 cents, basically face value unless they are in exceptional condition. However, if you have an uncirculated 1969D nickel, its value can range from $1 to $15 depending on its grade. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint can fetch even higher prices, with perfect PR70 examples selling for $20 or more. Be on the lookout for rare errors or varieties as well. Some 1969 nickels have known minting errors like off-center strikes, die cracks, or doubling. These error coins can bring in much higher prices from collectors. To sum it up, while the 1969 Jefferson nickel may not be the rarest coin out there, it's still a fascinating piece of American history. Whether you're looking for a valuable addition to your collection or just enjoy the thrill of the hunt, this coin offers plenty of opportunities for discovery. 1959 Jefferson nickel. The 1959 Jefferson nickel belongs to the long-running series featuring President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his home, Monticello, on the reverse. While the design remained relatively consistent from 1938 to 2003, coins from different years have unique characteristics that impact their value, and 1959 is no exception. 1959 was part of the post-war era where the U.S. Mint was focused on large-scale production. With both Philadelphia and Denver minting this year's nickel, millions of these coins were released into circulation. Let's explore how this history ties into the coin's value today. Now let's talk about mint marks. In 1959, there were 2 major minting locations, Philadelphia and Denver. You can easily identify where your coin was minted by looking for the mint mark on the reverse side to the right of Monticello. If there is no mint mark, your coin was produced in Philadelphia. If you see a D, it was minted in Denver. The Denver Mint produced over 160 million nickels in 1959, while the Philadelphia Mint produced nearly 28 million. While these numbers might seem high, the condition in any errors or varieties of these coins can have a big impact on their value. Speaking of which, let's look at some key errors to watch for. Error coins are a favorite among collectors because they add rarity and uniqueness. For the 1959 Jefferson nickel, some notable errors include double dial versus DDO, where the design appears slightly doubled, and off-center strikes, where the image is misaligned. These errors can significantly boost the value of your 1959 nickel. For example, a double die obverse in mint state condition can fetch a premium well above its regular value. So if you come across one of these coins, be sure to check closely for any of these unique characteristics. Now let's discuss grading and how it affects the coin's value. Grading refers to the condition of the coin, and it ranges from good G to mint state MS, with MS 60 to MS 67 being considered top quality coins. In circulated conditions, most 1959 Jefferson nickels are worth only face value or slightly above. However, in higher grades like MS 65 or MS 65 or MS 66, their value can jump significantly. For example, an MS 65 graded coin might be worth between $5 and $15, while an MS 67 could be valued at over $100 depending on the market and demand. Keep in mind that grading can be subjective, so it's always a good idea to have your coin professionally graded by experts like PCGS or NGC if you believe it's in high condition. When collecting Jefferson nickels, it's important to store them properly. Use coin holders or albums that keep them protected from wear, tarnish, and environmental damage. Even small scratches or discoloration can reduce a coin's value. And don't forget to look for full steps on the reverse of the coin. This refers to the clarity of the steps leading up to Monticello. Full steps are a rare feature and can substantially increase the coin's worth. So there you have it, the complete rundown on the 1959 Jefferson nickel. Whether you're hunting for errors, looking to grade your coin, or just want to add this piece to your collection, understanding its history and value is key.